Okay, with a lot of business video projects, they're working on a lot tighter brief.
Sure.
There's not as much footage, there's not as many interviews, there's not as much B-roll. There just isn't the amount of stories to try to tell in one video, right?
Yep.
This had a huge amount of stories that needed to be communicated. And so that's why we were always looking at a 5 to 10 minute final edited video.
Yep.
And why we keep using that word documentary, because the depth and breadth that was needed was clear. That was the whole idea and the whole strategy. Can you talk about the edit? Do you start editing before you finish getting footage? Do you start pulling together pieces?
Generally, no.
Okay.
In this case, yes.
Okay.
Right. The reason I say generally no is when a shorter video is being done, I'm like, well, we don't really know what we're going to get because when we don't necessarily tight script things, or I know that people aren't going to deliver what's on the script necessarily.
Yeah.
So I'll go, let's just get everything and see. At least the interviews, and then I'll piece the interviews together. With this, because I knew we were doing more and more interviews. I knew I had to add things in, but I didn't wait then because his story was too big. So what I did was start to collect the gold, right? So there were things that happened along the way. We'd do a shoot, we'd have a chat, whatever it was that we were videoing an interview, and I'd go, oh, that was gold and that was gold. They said that and they nailed it, and you know, and I would then go and take that and go, just start a timeline and put all those bits together. So it was a different edit, but I'd started with gold and piecing stuff together and trialing stuff. It wasn't formed into a timeline or a story that flowed necessarily. It was, I mean, at one point I showed them a 38-minute cut. I needed to digest it with them. It had to be a collaborative process. I couldn't do it by myself in a room and go, here's your 3-minute cut.